All right. Used to say the big hand was on and the little hand, but now the numbers say 10. So we will begin with a prayer and a pledge. Call to order the meeting of the Cabell County Commission for Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021 at 10 o'clock. Regular commission session in the third floor, room 300, Cabell County Courthouse. Let us pray. Most gracious Father, on a day like this, we can honestly say this is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. What beautiful weather. We thank you for this blessing and all the blessings. And as we approach Thanksgiving, may we all pause and remember all those blessings that we have been given. We would ask that you be with elected officials, uniformed personnel, frontline defenders, as we go about our work. Guide us and direct us as you would have us to go. All this we ask in the name of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to everybody that's here. The first item on our agenda, as always, is to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor would signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Next on the agenda would be to approve the minutes of the regular commission meeting on October 28th, from October 28th, 2021. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve.
Been
Second.
moved and seconded that the minutes be approved. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Next is to approve the erroneous assessments, land consolidation, split tickets, probate documentation from the county clerk's probate office. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval would signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is approved. Next, we approve purchase orders number 22-106220 through number 22-106422. Pay jackets, monthly payments to Fifth Third for fuel card purchases, handwritten checks to Unum for $8,399.46, and to Guardian for $20,617.70. Have a motion?
Second.
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 That is approved. Next on the agenda would be citizens registered to speak, and we have some citizens registered to speak. I would remind you that we do have a time limit, and every now and then somebody does even get close to it. But nonetheless, first signed up to speak is Kathy McKenna from the Greater Huntington Parks and Recreation Board.
Good morning. Thanks for having us here today. I'm just here today to speak about the redistricting that you all are looking at and going from 5 districts down to 3. That would have a significant impact on the Greater Huntington Park and Recreation District's board members. It has the possibility of taking us from our current 11 board members down to 7. And going to that smaller number, we lose a lot of history with our current board members, a lot of knowledge that they have, a lot of information that they bring to the table with all of their years of service. Also, the Park District board members are elected commissioners, however, they are not paid. So really, as far as a financial impact, that has no financial impact on the Park District as far as that goes. So anyway, I'd just like to bring that to your all's attention and recommend that you all continue with the 5 districts that we currently have. Thank you.
Your created by an act of the legislature,
Correct.
and that is written into the act, is it not?
It's, that, the legislation is written that we have 2 commissioners from each magisterial district, with one, additional one from the Westmoreland district.
Okay. Next is Devin Sloan.
Yep, that's me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for the opportunity to speak to you guys again. I was here probably about 2 or 3 months ago representing Green Acres Regional Center and the Hope for the Future levy. We want to formally present a written document here to ask for permission to get on the levy that will be next May, I think 10th of 2022, I believe. So if you don't mind, I'll read as quickly as I can what we would like to submit to you as far as an introduction and to go on from what we are. So, dear Commissioners, the Green Acres Regional Center would like to respectfully request that the Cabell County Commission once again consider and approve the placement of Green Acres Regional Center Incorporated on the May 10, 2022 ballot for the Cabell County voters to consider. In order to maintain our current level of services to both our employees with disabilities and to our customer base throughout the county, it is imperative that we maintain the excess levy at a level that currently meets the present economic structure the center now faces. The current excess levy will expire June 30th, 2022. Just for some information here, since 1968, Green Acres has been a staple and source of pride for the Cabell County community. As with any organization or business, regardless of the mission or service provided, time and circumstances affect both and create the need for adjustments and change to meet the present and future needs in order to survive. This is exactly what Green Acres has faced many times since its inception. Green Acres is a unique facility that has 2 driven and important heartbeats. The first is the world-class award-winning water that lies just below our beautiful campus. And please, if you ever get a chance, please come and tour the campus. It's absolutely phenomenal. The second and most important heartbeat is our people. Our employees work hard and with passion, desire, and pride to bring our products to the customer. Our employees maintain this on a daily basis while overcoming all the many varieties of obstacles that the rest of us can only begin to imagine. Green Acres provides a solid base for self-worth and personal development that can only be matched by a select few programs. Green Acres offers opportunities to those with disabilities in a society that provides little help to meet their needs. The work ethic that is maintained at the center is based on the idea of compassion and individualism that each person needs to be successful. The center maintains the perception that everyone can contribute in their own way. The ideal that every person under the Green Acres umbrella is integral to the center's well-being and success. Even with the evolution and changes Green Acres has had to face, the mission stands steady and has never wavered since 1968. The mission continues to maintain a comprehensive continuum of service to support skill development and assist developmentally disabled adults in Cabell, Lincoln, Wayne, and Mason counties to function at their maximum potential. Green Acres is so much more than just a water provider. The water is strictly a pathway to personal success. Excuse me. A little nervous, guys, because this is so important. And self-worth for those with disabilities. We're a business. Our business is providing those who need help and opportunity they can get nowhere else. Nothing has changed since 2016 when the last excess levy for the support of Green Acres levy successfully passed. Actually, the fact that Green Acres has expanded our scope to support more opportunities for people with disabilities. By creating new partner customer opportunities through the expansion of services such as private labels, expanded delivery areas, and most importantly, a training site for other organizations such as Goodwill, of which list last week we were awarded the Employer of the Year for 2020-2021, among others, to provide their people with firm and realistic environment to train for future employment. Green Acres may be one of a kind and a beacon of light in providing this service to the disabled community. Our programs are targeted to provide work experience training, and it remains our #1 goal and focus. Employees bottle cap, label, package, and deliver water pumped from our on-site wells. Every employee, with the exception of one brand new hire, makes more than minimum wage. The goals that our employees reach every day is incredible. On average, Green Acres produces over 500 5- and 3-gallon bottles per day. We bottle, cap, package, and sell around 10,000 16.9-ounce bottles of world-class water, and this is accomplished by people, not machines. Over 1.9 million gallons of water has already passed through the tanks this year. However, our mission is not the amount of production we achieve, but the opportunities for jobs that are created for those with disabilities. Green Acres reach goes well beyond the little campus in Lee Sage. It is truly amazing what's being created within our boundaries. The jobs are here, providing water to hundreds of customers and thousands of individuals within Cabell County, as well as unlimited outside opportunities, helps generate monies for the local economy. Green Acres does business predominantly in Cabell County, however. Some of these include Cabell Huntington Hospital, St. Mary's Hospital, Special Metals, Tudors, Hillbilly Hot Dogs, Stewart's Hot Dogs, Java Joe's, Valley Health, Dixon Electric, Marshall University, the Huntington Chamber of Commerce, Republic Services, Guyan Country Club, Western Regional Dale, Landscaping by Hillcrest, River City Superfood, Ohio Valley Bank, Dutch Miller, just to name a few. The supports these businesses provide, along with the excess levy funding, provide the opportunities that our employees depend on for their day-to-day well-being. Green Acres on a daily basis touches thousands of Cabell County citizens through their purchases and consumption. Opportunities are not just limited to people employed directly at Green Acres. Through the West Virginia State Youth Program and individual partnerships with other like facilities like Green Acres provides opportunities to others around the state with disabilities by helping generate revenue to operate their programs. The success stories that have been created here are numerous. The opportunities are limited and shown through their these success stories. Many of our employees have been trained here, have gone on to continue and enjoy employment in many occupational areas, including Amazon, Walmart, Heritage Farms, United Postal Service. The skill set and interaction to the employment world was gained and mastered for success right here on our campus. There are so many facets to Green Acres that go unnoticed. Green Acres Regional Center Incorporated reaches out in a variety of ways to the local community. Many citizens get their seasonal flowers and plants from our greenhouse. Groups such as the Garden Clubs of Huntington, Beverly Hills, Salt Rock have all enjoyed and shown passion for both fundraising opportunities as well as consumption of safe drinking water. The state, as well as local companies and communities, have called on numerous occasions during times of emergency and disaster. We have always been there to help, and with the continued support from the county citizens, we will continue to be. Green Acres Regional Center Incorporated strives to be self-sufficient, but that time has not yet come. We are still dependent on Cabell County levy and the excess levy for our survival. Nearly 40% of our revenue comes from the excess levy. We continue to do all we can to help ourselves, but the increases in operational expenses, repair costs, and basic operating needs leaves a void that the excess levy helps to fill. Green Acres, in conclusion, is a wonderful place with the world's best water, but more importantly, the world's best people. And I thank you for your time, and if I went beyond 5 minutes, I do apologize.
If you did exceed it,
I could talk for hours.
if you did exceed it, you did your best not to say that.
A little nervous, it's very important.
We have two other folks, Matthew Muller, who is also from Green Acres.
I'll go last. Harold Pratt's on there after Matt. But I'm probably the most senior member, I think I am the most senior member of the advisory board of directors for Green Acres Regional Center. I've been a board member there since 1985. Want to apologize for Rick Hanley, who is one of your counterparts in Mason County, who was not able to be here today because his mother went back into the hospital last night, so he was not able to. I'm vice president, he asked me to be here. Devin can tell you everything there is to know about Green Acres. He's probably the most senior employee there at Green Acres as executive director. But Green Acres was started, was by an act of the legislature in 1968 and also about 1970. It was incorporated as a nonprofit, and it worked very well as long as it was a residential facility for helping the developmentally disabled people of Cabell, Wayne, Mason, and Lincoln. Because of their change in philosophy of the treatment for the mental health individuals and citizens, and also because of some legislative action, they deinstitutionalized the people that resided at Green Acres. They also closed the school that existed at Green Acres because they mainstreamed those students back into the public schools in the counties. They had Marshall University provided the special education instructors there for those students, and they bused them in from the separate counties. Also, they closed the residence and put people in apartments or group homes in the community to mainstream those people as well. So no residents on Green Acres at that point in time. So in the mid-80s, things began to change for Green Acres. The county commission saw fit to try to help Green Acres and put Green Acres on a levy call that by 1982, I think, was the first time. And it has passed by great majorities every time it's been on the ballot. They have gotten to the point where the only vocational programs that they have there to continue is the agricultural program and the water, the Sage Wells. It can't support the water, and the agricultural cannot support Green Acres on its own. Neither can the levy money support Green Acres on its own. But by a combination of the two and the work of these two individuals, a lot of other people at Green Acres, there are 37 or 38 Cabell County residents that are employed there at this point in time. Don't know how many there are from the other counties, but they are the special people that Green Acres was set and established to serve. A lot of influential people in Cabell County started this in 1968 because they saw a need. The philosophy of mental health treatment changed over the years. The original charter and bylaws called for 15 members of the advisory board, 8 from Cabell County, 4 from Wayne County, 2 from Mason County, and 1 from Lincoln County. There's currently, I think, in Cabell County, we've got Lisa Clary, who is a former employee of Green Acres, John Cummins, retired judge of Cabell County, Joy Combs, are Cabell County members, myself, and Randall Troutline, who lives in Wayne County, he's a lawyer here in town, Brandy Davis, a realtor in Cabell and Wayne County, and Hannah Stedman, I think she is a parent, is the Wayne County board member, and Rick Hanley, I believe, is the only Mason County board member at this time. I think we have one pending, and Nate Olson, that is pending seating him as a board member, but he hasn't been there at the meeting yet. Green Acres is a source of pride in Cabell County. These different agencies throughout the state of West Virginia who have delivered the Sage water for them to sell at a profit to support their facilities, deals with the same developmentally disabled individuals. And it's far reaching. It goes from every corner of West Virginia and every agency such as Green Acres that are supporting them. So it's a source of pride. It's brought some notoriety to Cabell County. It serves mainly Cabell County residents. And we're here today just to encourage the county commission to leave Green Acres at its rate on the levy call for next year. And thank you all for your time and for
Any of the commissioners have any questions?
I just don't know.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes, go right ahead.
Do any of the other counties who participate in your programs and have people serving on your board contribute financially to Green Acres?
I'll answer part of that. This is Darrell Pratt. We did, in the 80s, the school system supported that Green Acres because they had their school children attending the school there at Green Acres. Since the school has shut down, I'm not sure that Wayne County contributes anything, and I don't know about Mason County contributing anything. It is I've heard it said that Green Acres is not what it used to be. That's true. It is on a smaller scale, but it still serves the same mission that it was started for in 1968. And you all have, in Cabell County, have 38 residents that certainly benefit, and whatever Wayne and Mason have is also a benefit to their communities as well. I don't know any other, you all know anything about other?
No, there's nothing as far as for Lincoln, Mason, or Wayne counties as far as that goes. The only thing that Mason County really receives from Green Acres that would be beneficial, which it is a big thing because it also includes myself, I'm a Mason County citizen, is I'm paid through Green Acres. You know, that's where I make my livelihood at Green Acres. But other than that, as far as any return financially would affect Mason County or Wayne or Lincoln counties, the return, there would be no return. Matt, who will speak next, he will give you a little information about how what we do generates funding from outside of the county that comes into the county that benefits Cabell County. So basically any financial type revenue gaining strictly goes to Cabell County other than what is, what we do in payroll as far as, and I think there's 6 citizens outside that are Mason Countyans, and I don't know, there might be 1 or 2 Wayne County that receive payroll from Green Acres. But there's no return as far as this revenue generated for those counties.
I know that the state of West Virginia used to contribute. Do they still contribute to Green Acres?
No, ma'am, that's, I went back and it's very interesting. I found a newspaper, a snippet that was in there. Back in 2006, there was actually over a $5 million revenue generated through Green Acres of monies. And I think when I was here the last time, the question was something to the effect that, what did other places like the state, did we look into the state and federal and what happened to those funding sources? Really, those funding sources, after I've really looked into it, and I should have told you the last time and known this, but that was just for services rendered, basically, that was from like ICF funding for the beds and stuff through the residential units and stuff like that. But to be saying that the money came through just to help generate the programs and stuff at Green Acres through the state or federal, that didn't happen. That's, to my knowledge, it was just from services rendered, whether it be a food program or like I say, the ICF beds or Medicaid or something of that nature.
Okay, thank you.
Another speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Matt.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to approach this from a little bit of a different angle than Devin and Judge. The Judge was talking about the pride that Green Acres hopefully produces. And I'll just give you a quick story.
Sir, I'm sorry, you can state your name.
Matthew Muller.
Matthew Muller. Thank you.
Yep. As the sales manager, I handle the vast majority of all the sales, and I'll just give you a quick story about one particular sale that happened a couple months ago. I was contacted by a gentleman that owns a physical therapy business, and he contacted us on our website, and I called him back, and in the process of talking to him, I asked him, I said, what kind of a business do you have? He says, it's physical therapy. I said, oh, that's cool. I said, so, how much do you know about us? And he said, well, I've done my research, and I got on your website, and I know what you're all about. I know you employ people with developmental disabilities. He said, I know that your water has won the gold medal at the Berkeley Springs International Water Tasting Competition. And he said, I also know that you do personalized labels on your 16.9 ounce bottles. I said, yeah, that's absolutely true. And he said, so we talked a little bit more about doing business, and I said, by the way, where are you located? He said, San Dimas, California. Now, for those of you who may not know, San Dimas is a suburb of Los Angeles, California. And I laughed and I said, okay, we're in West Virginia, right? He said, yes, I absolutely do know you're in West Virginia. And I said, and water is not light. It costs money to ship it. He said, yes, I know that. And at that point, I knew he was gonna, so the short story is, about a month ago, we shipped 1,200 bottles to San Dimas, California. He paid for the shipping. And after he said he paid for everything, I had gotten on his website because I wondered, who is this guy? And if you think about Los Angeles physical therapy, I got on his website and started looking at his clientele. clientele includes world-class National Football League, Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, actors, famous singers. These are his clientele. And he called us up and said he wanted our water delivered to his place because he wanted to give it to his clientele. And I said, I will absolutely send this water out to you. So, we got his label done. We shipped it out about a month ago. Like I said, we shipped out an entire pallet. And I was talking to him yesterday, and I said, does everybody love the water? He says, yeah, absolutely. And the thing is about those 1,200 bottles, every one of those bottles was filled by a human being. Every bottle was capped by a human being. Every bottle was labeled by a human being, not machines. And every one of these human beings has some form of a developmental disability. So there's one facility in the United States, one, that can say, we're the ones who did that. Because there's only one facility, bottling facility I'm talking about, that employs people with developmental disabilities. It's here in Cabell County. It's nowhere else. There's one in the United States, it's here in Cabell County. And I would think that, I would hope that the people, the leaders of Cabell County, and I can tell you right now, every person that I deal with, business owners, people that just homeowners that get our water, when I tell them the story, they say that's the coolest thing, you know? And I would hope that everybody in Cabell County would be proud of the fact that we are shipping water 2,500 miles across the United States. That guy had plenty of other choices. He chose us, and he chose us because he knew what our mission is, and he valued the water. So I just wanted to give you one story. I could tell you stories all day, but that just happened about a month ago, and so thank you for your time, and I hope that's something that you guys can appreciate. Yes?
I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I do thank you for your invitation to tour your facility months ago, and I did learn a lot after touring that. And I got to talk to some of your employees who are developmentally disabled, and asking them what would you do if you didn't have this job. And there's a concern that they would be staying at home isolated, and this gives them some type of camaraderie and friendship that they wouldn't have apart from this program. Having said that, I know I had raised this question before. As you know, Autism Services was connected to the levy, and I have been reached out by some of the board members for Autism Services, likewise concerned that if this levy does not move forward, that there's going to be a lack of funding and continued programs. Have you all had that collective, collaborative discussion to move forward together as it was in the past?
Yeah, and I'll let Devin answer that because that's more of a, but I will tell you that I spoke with, I think his name is Jimmy Byrne. I spoke with him very briefly on the phone. I've never met the man, and I called him up, and so I talked to him very briefly about it. My understanding, and I could be wrong about this, so don't take this as the fact, but my understanding was, it almost seemed to me like he was gonna try to get on separately. I don't know if that's the case. But that's as much as I know about the two entities going in together. But Devin may know more about that.
Information kind of gotten, I mean, it was, I took over about 2 years ago as administrator or director. Basically, I've done the job what I'm doing now for probably the last 10, 12 years, but some things I was not involved in. And so inadvertently, the information didn't get passed to me, or we would have actually applied last year to get on the levy like we were before with the TTA and the others that were on there. I think there were 7 that were on there. And so finding that out, I think I called like in October here of last year, and I think I talked to Ms. Thompson at that time. And I asked, what we need to do to get on the levy, and it was like, I think her, she said, well, we were too late. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. So through talking with her and stuff, we found out that, and so I kind of did some, and so I called autism. I called there and I talked to a lady there, and I think, I don't know her name off the top of my head. She was like the vice chairman, the vice president or whatever. And I said, do you realize that we did not get on the levy? And I know they are 10% of the entire amount of the levy, there's whatever the figure. And she didn't know that, and I didn't know much about it either. And I said, well, I just thought maybe you guys just didn't need the money anymore, and you knew about it, and then you just didn't get on there either. And she said, oh Lord, no, we need money too as well. And I said, okay. So she said, well, then you need to talk with the chief, our CFO. So I called twice there and left messages for them to return a call to me, and for some whatever reason, there was no call ever returned. So that's all I know as far as autism services goes. We have no problem with sharing that. We're all in the same field together, trying to create the same opportunities and things together, and I don't, just want you guys to know, and you're well aware of the changes have happened and stuff. We are trying to do for ourselves so much more than what we had to do before. Like I said, we had a $5 million budget. And a lot of that stuff, that would help with the programs and stuff that we did. We don't have that anymore. We're less, we're like $1.7 million, and so, that's a lot of money, but in turn, just here recently, gas prices, when we send our trucks out, and we do stuff that other places don't. We actually bring folks in. We go get people with disabilities at their homes, and we take them to Green Acres where they can work and give them that opportunity. We work with Goodwill. We work with these other organizations to try to make it convenient. If a guy can only work 2 days a week, if he can work 3 days a week, we try to meet those, and we do whatever it is to help them be successful at whatever their highest level can be. And so that's where, but just like I say, gas prices low on a simplified level. When it went from $2 to $3, right there, our expenses 1/3 increase just like that. And that's not to mention our natural gas and our materials and all those kind of things that everything is going up. So, and then our payroll and stuff, just because you have a disability, does that mean you should make minimum wage the rest of your life? No. And all those guys, they've got increases and stuff just like anyone else, and that's what we strive to be, to make their lives as pleasant and normal as they possibly can be. And I thank you for your time, I really do. And may God be with all of us, and may God be with Green Acres. So thank you guys.
Were you all, you weren't organized to an act of the legislature?
Well, the notebook that I have indicates that at that time, Governor Smith, I think it was.
Whoever.
Governor Smith proposed it. And I thought that there was a House bill or a Senate bill that actually approved organizing a regional mental health treatment center. Not Pressed Air, not the way Pressed Air was organized, but it was cited in our paperwork. I've never researched it, but it's 1968.
You have
Thinking about it.
talked to, if you take Cabell, Wayne, Mason, and Lincoln, you probably got 8 to 12 delegates and 2 or 3 senators. You asked them for any money?
They've all been contacted, asked for money, and also asked to encourage the continuation of the levy call. And I don't say they all have been, but several of them have.
Right. Well, naturally, we will accept whatever you're going to give us and make some decision as to whether that, the amount that would come off the levy, the percentage and that sort of thing, after we see what you've got in the package that you're going to give us.
Well, basically, I don't, as far as financial numbers to give you, I mean, I can give you, but I mean, we're not, we just want to stay pat what we were now, is
Okay.
what we're looking at, because with the increase in prices and things that we're doing, I mean, that, we're not asking for any more, but I can't imagine anybody coming into this chamber and saying, hey, we need less money. I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
this doesn't make good sense, really. We just want to be
Question?
above the Capital County citizens.
No, I
give
could,
possibility.
I could just, I would encourage the public or whoever, policymakers to go out there and take a look at it and meet the clients and those that are, working there at that facility. I know we're under the gun with putting it on before the commission for it to make it to the next, you know, election for the levy vote. So I know the time is not on our side, so it's something that we definitely, need to discuss quick and in a hurry, and I do pledge my support to have that discussion. And ultimately, it's, you know, we're the first step to putting a levy out to the public as an elected body, but it also takes, the public to, cast that vote, to place that upon themselves. And so perhaps, you know, the media can get out there and start discussing, the need for that, so that the public can have a greater understanding of the need to help those that are developmentally disabled.
And if I can, not to interrupt, but, we always are totally open. I extend the invitation to anybody, to the public, the county. I mean, I've had state delegates, state senators, I've had representatives from, Joe Manchin and Shelley Moore Capito's office to come out and see us. So the invitation is always open to anybody that wants to come out and see us. We love having people come out and take a tour and see how our operation works. I also know, because we had gotten some figures from the assessor's office, I actually saw some numbers in terms of what it costs taxpayers. And for example, if I'm not mistaken, somebody that, for example, if they had a $500,000 home that was valued at $500,000, the amount of money that went to Green Acres was $65 for the year. Okay, so, you know, spread out over Cabell County, this is not a huge amount of, money. I mean, in my opinion, if somebody owns a $500,000 home and $65 per year goes to Green Acres, I would think that was a pretty good investment.
You didn't divide it up between Green Acres and Mount Pleasant Services. You're talking
Right.
about the total levy.
Yes.
Well, you have, in this and other meetings, let us know of your need. And I guess, one of our questions is, obviously, it's not running as it originally was set up to do, and we understand that's changed. And we also understand that there are at least 4 other counties who, as near as I can tell, are not supporting it. And from your conversation, they don't have any, other than board members, they don't have any clients from their counties who are at Green Acres, which may be defensible reason for them not to contribute. But as Commissioner Savania says, we'll take it under advisement and certainly give it our consideration so that we can get it on the ballot if we get it on the ballot. And we thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, it's very important, and we appreciate your time.
Jim, I have one more question.
Sure, Nancy.
Can anyone tell me how much money you make each year from the sale of the water?
It's right around, it's a little, probably over $1 million with all with the two between the flowers and the bottled water. Because I think it was 1.8 million total with the levy and everything. And so I think the levy this year was around 700,000, so about 1.1 maybe. And that's amazing because if you look back at when we were doing the 5 million revenue, the water and the programs probably generated about 8% of the income at that time. Now we're doing, well, obviously the levy's 39-point-something% that helps us with, and 61% is coming from what we do ourselves. And that's just, guys, if people with disabilities, if you would just come and visit and see, that's all I say. That's all we need to do.
And our expenses, I mean, this is what people don't understand, is that we operate, everybody thinks of us as a water producing facility, and we do produce water, but we are totally backwards from what a normal water producing facility is. Because everybody else is automated, everybody else uses machines. Our purpose, we want to get as many people with disabilities as we can. So, I mean, you know, the whole business aspect of it is just like totally upside down.
Any money generated through the levy or through what we produce and make there goes back into the hiring of more people with disabilities. I mean, we're a nonprofit organization, and that, you know, we're not banking $100 million somewhere or whatever. We pretty much, what we make and what we get from the county and the good citizens of Cabell County is the way we make do.
Well, as I say, we thank you. You've used up your 5 minutes. And we'll take that under advisement, discuss it. If we have any questions, we know where to find you.
Absolutely.
Judge?
May I be excused?
Certainly. And anybody else who,
And I leave this with you as a formal document to say.
Just give it to Ben.
next item on the agenda would be to open the bids for the demolition of the Ona Field office and 2 adjacent buildings. And
Okay, the first one is from Roger Golden, or Goldizen.
Can you spell that?
Goldizen Excavating. Total base bid is $146,000, and the company address is 98 Green Drive, Hurricane, West Virginia 25526. The second one here is from K&J Demolition. Total base bid is $28,700. The address for the company is 5141 Heath Creek Road, Barbersville, 25504. This is Gold Technical LLC. P.O. Box 311, Barbersville, West Virginia 25504. Total base bid $148,000. This one, I haven't checked that. I'm not sure what this is.
Hannah.
They're paying you, sweet. Well, I think maybe they paid their taxes and they've also seen it a bit. That's not different, we need to look up.
Save us time.
Yeah. It says S&E Clearing and Hydro Seeding LLC, P.O. Box 277, Barney, West Virginia. Total base bid of $87,700.
Hmm?
It's for demolition only.
Yeah.
We need to amend that.
Safe Coast Services.
Two different things.
3082 South Highway 88, Dilliner, Pennsylvania, 15327. Total base bid of $90,000. So we'll take those and look through them. I know a lot of it probably
says on our agenda for construction, should we amend that item to say for
That's
the
different.
demolition? Okay. Oh, I see it, okay, gotcha.
This was right under the citizens register, to
Right.
speak, open bids for demolition.
Two different things.
Right,
Yeah.
I see that now.
Okay, we've got 5 bids.
Yes,
Chad will
yes.
look them over and let us know.
Does that include the asbestos removal?
That's already been
It's all
done.
been done. Accomplished. Next item is, item, as they all are, 21-11-23, 271, petition to appoint an administrator for William Holly regarding the estate of William A. Holly II.
Mr. Holly passed away in September of this year. They never found any kind of will, so it would be an intestacy situation. More than 2 months have passed and nobody has come forward asking to be appointed as the representative of the estate. So they are requesting pursuant to the statutes that the sheriff be appointed as the administrator of this estate. And I would recommend that that would be the action that the commission should take.
Commissioners, do we have a motion on that?
I'll move to approve.
That's your direction?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct, right.
Well, we have a motion. I'll second that. All in favor of the petition to appoint the administrator for that estate, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes. Item number 272 is a resolution of the Cabell County Commission in the matter of opening bids for construction of a new building for the Cabell County Sheriff's Ona Field Office and Garage.
And this resolution moves that to December 9th. The original date was today. But there were certain issues that had come up during the mandatory pre-meeting, and so there were certain addenda to the plans, and those are being addressed, and this is giving the bidders time to get those questions answered.
Did the questions come up during the pre-bid meeting?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion for that.
Motion to approve. I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the resolution concerning the construction bids date. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution is passed. We have now before us item number 273, a resolution of the Cabell County Commission in the matter of a resolution authorizing the signing of the grant contract between the West Virginia Division of Administrative Services, Justice and Community Services Section, and the Cabell County Commission for the purpose of providing funding for the Victims Advocate Office.
I so moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded, and it would seem to be $169,184. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor would signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the resolution is passed. Item 274 is a resolution of the Cabell County Commission regarding the matter of the proposed realignment of magisterial districts of Cabell County. And that is a presentation of a public notice that indicates that the maps so far have been on display in the Cabell County Clerk's office, and that we would vote on the selection on December the 9th.
I move to approve.
And that is the 2 separate maps that we have before us,
It's all the
With
maps
the-
we have now.
with
Yeah.
the 3 and the 5.
Right.
We're just clarifying if we have 2 or 3 magisterial map and a 5-member, or a 5 magisterial map.
That's my understanding, yes. 2 maps.
Okay. I'll second to move it to December 9th.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution is passed. Item number 275 is a letter binder from Chuck Zirkle, Cabell County Sheriff, of the delinquent list of sales, suspensions, and redemption 2020 delinquent real estate taxes. That's when he comes carrying that big thing in. Do we have a motion on that?
I so moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor would signify saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That item 275 is approved. Next item is item number 276, resolution for the employment of Timothy Harmon per diem EMT and Nathan Hunter Thompson per diem EMT, and reclassification of Jimmy Forrest to full-time paramedic.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor of the resolution would vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. The resolution is passed. Next item on the agenda is to place on record items to be recorded, minutes to be recorded. Cabell Huntington Health Department regular meeting September 22nd, 2021. Salt Rock Water Public Service District progress meeting October the 11th, 2021. And Salt Rock Water Public Service District regular meeting on October 12th, 2021. Other documents to be recorded include Cabell Huntington Health Department Board reports of October 2021, Culloden Volunteer Fire Department report on agreed upon procedures for period beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30, 2021.
I'll move to place on record.
Been moved that we place those on record. It's been seconded. All in favor would signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those minutes will be so recorded and other documents. And the last item is Commissioners' Representation Reports, Good and Welfare for Cabell County.
I just have a question, I guess for Beth or whoever. Last night, the Huntington City Council approved of the needle exchange program for the health department, and that needs to go before us. Is there a time limit by which we need to make that determination?
I think it's January 1st.
So that would be on a future meeting,
If
near future?
they request it, yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, they would have to ask to be on the agenda. I believe the deadline was January 1st, isn't that right, Jim?
When I saw Dr. Kilkenny yesterday, he said time was short.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, if there's no other business to come before the commission, we will sign various documents, look officially busy, and when we're finished, we will adjourn.